here, Sugar Plums. I want to share with you guys reasons why I am so proud of myself. So proud of myself. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who have been following me for quite some time, you know that I have been on a journey to become a flight attendant, and thank you for tapping in with me. I just want to fill you guys in on a few things. So, I am back from training. I have been away with a legacy airline carrier. I left for a 6.5-week training, and I made it to 5 weeks. But let me tell you guys why I am so proud of myself. I'm going to preface it with stating that, you know, I have heard it widely said from countless flight attendants online, through social media videos I have viewed. I've heard it from top CEOs with legacy airline carriers, and it has been said that it is easier to get into Harvard Law School than it is to be invited for an interview, a face-to-face interview, be offered a CJO, be invited to training, and make it through the training. It is very, very grueling, but I'm going to share with you reasons why I am so proud of myself. So, again, I made it 5 weeks through the training. My story is still being written, and the journey is not over. I will be back. I was asked to come back. It was recommended that I come back because I was a stellar student, and I am the face that the company or the airline is looking for. But let me tell you guys something. Okay, so let me give you a breakdown of why I am so proud of myself. One, last year, 2025, there were 94,000 applicants for the role of a flight attendant for the airline, legacy airline carrier that I went to train with. Out of that 94,000, I believe they said 2,000 were given conditional job offers to train for 2026. Now, everybody that was invited to train did not make it. There were people that were sent home earlier than I was. When I tell you guys why I wasn't able to complete the full 6.5 weeks, like I was a week and a half out from graduating, I was so devastated because I had put my heart and soul into it. But now I have a greater depth of knowledge, what is expected, and why they say it's easier to get into Harvard. It was one of the most grueling undertakings of my life. Not the most, but one of the most. I consider court reporting the most grueling. But in the 5 weeks I was there, on my tests, I believe I made 100% on 4 or 5 of my tests. And the rest of the remaining tests were high 90s, like 96.6, 97.3, and then low 90s, 93.3, on and on and on. My last test, I made under a 90%. And obviously, you guys, I'm not sharing any secret squirrel stuff or policies and procedures. You can go look at your social media content on every platform that speaks to this, okay? Most airline carriers that are legacy airline carriers, their grading, you have to make a 90% and above on all of your tests, all of them. There are no excuses, there are no exceptions. My last test was under 90%, and I was devastated because I worked so hard, as all of my classmates did. But here's why I am proud of myself, because I made it not only to the virtual interview, but I was invited to a face-to-face interview, which most people do not get invited to. And then I was offered a conditional job offer, or a CTO, conditional training offer, with a legacy airline carrier, not a regional, a legacy, which a lot of people they're not afforded that opportunity because it is so competitive. It is so competitive. I can't stress that enough. It is very, very competitive when you are vying for a spot with a legacy airline carrier. And here's my reasoning why. It's different than regional airline carriers because legacy airline carriers have more aircraft. Their aircraft, it's more expansive, okay, versus a regional airline carrier that may only have 2 aircraft that they fly. You're dealing with a legacy airline. They're flying many, 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 many different aircraft. You have to know those aircraft inside and out, the configurations, all of that. And that is a lot to learn in the matter of 6.5 weeks. Your days are very long, right? So as a woman that is 54 years young, honey, I'm proud of myself because it's been a while since I've been in school. And for me to make 100% on 4 or 5 tests and all high 90% and low 90% is amazing because I haven't been in school in a while. So I'm proud of myself for that reason as well. And I made it further than most people make it. For 2025, there were 94,000 applicants. This is what was shared with us. Out of those 94,000, I was one of the ones that was chosen to attend training because they saw the potential in me. I don't know what they were looking for. I don't know what it was that allowed me to get the golden ticket. But they know what they're looking for. And if you have that it factor, most times you will be selected. But the onus is on you to get to training, to learn the material, and it is being thrown at you at warp speed. It is being thrown at you at warp speed. Your days are very long. Your days are usually 12 or 13-hour days. So you couple that with you need rest, but you also have to complete your homework, which is due the next day, right, before you go to class. So we're talking, sometimes your homework may be 1 assignment, 2, 3 assignments, 5 assignments. So you have to get all of that done. Also, you have to study for your tests. The tests are coming at warp speed. And there is a lot of information that is being disseminated to you. And how are you going to do that and get rest? Let me tell you, I think the most rest that I ever had, one day I slept maybe 3.5, 4 hours. I'm talking about on a regular night. Now, we did have 2 days off. I don't count those days as off because those days are spent studying and getting homework done. And you're resting a little bit longer than you normally do. So, maybe 5 hours of sleep, but it is such a grueling process. It is such a grueling process. But my journey isn't over, and I just want to encourage those of you that are on the same journey, if you're in the same position that I am, do not give up. It is not over. Your story is still being written. And honey, they're going to see me again. Listen, they asked me to come back because they said I was a stellar student and I am what they are looking for. So, in Arnold Schwarzenegger's voice, honey, I'll be back. Listen, stay strong, keep the faith, and